Well, the NBA free agency starts July 1st. So, what's that gonna be like? What do you think is going to happen? So, here are my NBA predictions of this year's NBA free agency. Well, we begin this list off with the biggest free agent of them all, Kevin Durant. My man, Kevin Durant. Obviously, there's a lot of speculation going around that he's just going to do a 1 year deal to stay with the Thunder, and so he can go into free agency in 2017 with Russell Westbrook and make a boatload of cash, which again, I 100% agree with. If I was in his shoes, I probably would go to a contender to win and take a year deal with them and then re-sign with them again to get a big boatload of cash. But let's go into the teams that he can go to. Obviously, number one being he stays with the Thunder. Number two, going to the Golden State Warriors. Do I think that's a right move? No, I wouldn't go to Golden State if I was him. Actually, I would. I take that back. I would go to Golden State to win it all. I just don't like Golden State, but I could see him going to Golden State. Another team I could see him going to is the Celtics. If he went to the Boston Celtics, he'd be going to one of the best coaches in the NBA, or even, he's not the best coach. Greg Popovich is the best coach in the league. But he'd be going to a team with incredible depth, where he would be the main superstar, unlike in Golden State, and he would have a cast of players all around him who are pretty much perennial. I don't even know how you say it. Just who are almost at all-star level players, and he'd have probably the best team around him, better than he had in OKC. Even though he doesn't have Russell Westbrook, he just has more better players on his team. He can go to the Spurs, where he'd have LaMarcus Aldridge, Tony Parker, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, Greg Popovich, Manu Ginobili, the Spurs bench. He'd pretty much be going to a legacy. But I don't think he would want to go to San Antonio because he wants to build his own legacy. The Los Angeles Clippers is another team you can go to, because come on, wouldn't you want to go play with Doc Rivers and Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan? You're literally be putting there next to JJ Redick, who's an insane three-shooter. Like, come on, that's a great team. You can go to the Knicks or the Heat. Heat probably not going to happen. They're too old. The Knicks, you got Carmelo, kind of a ball hog. You got D Rose coming back from knee surgery. You got Porzingis. I don't think it's going to work. Next up is DeMar DeRozan. This one is simple. He has said it. He's not going to talk with anybody except the Toronto Raptors, so he's staying in Toronto. Paul Gasol is going to the New York Knicks, and why? Because literally it's the perfect place for him, and he knows it. It's going to be a familiar setting. Paul Gasol doesn't want to go somewhere where he's going to have to learn an offense, where he's going to have to be really put into a place where he has to learn something new. Phil Jackson's familiar. Jeff Hornacek's a good offense for him. It's pretty much a perfect fit, and he can make a good amount of money and has a good chance of competing. So really, it's really the only place that makes sense. Harrison Barnes to the Atlanta Hawks. And you're thinking, why to the Atlanta Hawks? He has so many other options. Well, Harrison Barnes, he was a 9th pick of the draft in like 2011 or something like that, or 2012. I think it was 2012. He was insane in college, and he just wants to go somewhere where he can be the man, and that's where it's going to be, Atlanta. Paul Millsap's getting older. Al Horford's going to leave. He's going to have a really good chance to score. Dennis Schroeder's not the biggest scorer, but he's a good passer. It's the perfect situation for him to score and be the man and really create a larger role for himself, and he has a good chance of getting a big payday there. Al Horford's going to have a couple options. He can either go to the Heat, where he can be a center next to Bosh, but I don't think that's going to be a good fit. You can go to the Celtics if they lose in the race for Kevin Durant, where that could be a great fit, replace Jared Sullinger, maybe play the power forward or the center position. Depends on what they want to do. You can go to the Orlando Magic, but I don't think that'll happen because they got Ibaka. He can stay with the Hawks, but I think the best place he could go to is really the Celtics or maybe just stay with the Hawks. Mike Conley really has two places he can go to. Stay in Memphis, where they're kind of going to go into a forced rebuild. Not really, but they're not seeking a title contention anytime soon. Best place for him to go is the Spurs. Take over Tony Parker's role, play for one of the greatest coach or the greatest coach of all time, and have Tony Parker come off the bench and maybe learn some new tricks. But really, those are his two options. My man Hassan Whiteside. I'm going to tell you the three places that he can go to. The Lakers, because, come on, you want to go to Showtime. You got D'Angelo Russell, Jordan Clarkson, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, and then imagine Hassan Whiteside. That team would have such a good core that I think they would go to the playoffs next year. Next up, you can take Dwight's spot and pretty much be Dwight 2.0 in Houston. You know, he could actually be better because they pretty much got Dwight at the end where he really was nothing. He's the perfect guy to play with. My man, James Harden. Or you can go to Portland and play with Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Aminu, Ed Davis, a.k.a. Tristan Thompson, super cheap, poor man's 2.0, some shit like that. But that's pretty much, I say, his best options. Dwayne Wade is going to Cleveland. I know it for a fact. They're good friends, LeBron and him. Dwayne Wade has 3 rings. He wants more. He knows it's not going to happen in Miami. He knows it's not going to happen in Golden State. I mean, it could happen in Golden State, but he has a better chance to be a starter and play and have a better time in Cleveland. It's meant to be. My man, Dwight Howard. I used to live in Orlando. I love Dwight. He has to go back to Orlando. I want him to go back to Orlando. I think that'd be a perfect fit. I don't think Nikola Vucevic would be good at. He's not fit for the Frank Vogel offense. Put Serge Ibaka and stretch the floor next to Dwight. That's amazing. That's such a good deal. And Dwight, just do a hometown discount. Just come back, retire in Orlando. We love you. Anyway, if he doesn't go there, go to Brooklyn. But they have Brook Lopez, so that could be a little bit complicated. He could go to the Dallas Mavericks. They need a center next to Dirk Nowitzki and Chandler Parsons. A good fit. He could go to the Hornets, take the place of Al Jefferson. Good fit. I think that'd be interesting to see. But those are his 4 options. So tell me down below, guys, what's your thought on my predictions? What do you think is going to happen in the NBA free agency? I'm very keen to hear. That's about it, guys. Leave a comment down below again. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NBA content. As always, guys, I hope you guys have a great day because I know I will. Till next time, guys. Peace out.